Hey guys, some Gamer Dude here. So, Vingolf 3 got revealed recently as Ruler All-Stars. We have Art of Labyrinth Master Kronos, what seems to be a redesigned Leviathan, the Tyrant of the Ocean, the Crimson Gull in the Sky / Little Red Riding Hood, Sylvia Gilpalorelius, and Dark Alice on a Dark Magic Stone. This is the best Dark Magic Stone ever, and I will finally buy a Vingolf for it. I don't need any other Dark Magic Stones ever. So, what do I think of this set? Too Soon comes to mind. I get what they're going for, a quasi Return to X deal like the current block is, except with dead or irrelevant characters. But the current story, it really doesn't have an excuse just yet why it has to take place on Grimm's world. I mean, sit back and think about it. Why did Altea turn up on Grimm's planet? We don't have a reason yet. It's probably incredibly contrived, like the reasoning for Beast Faria being alive will be, but the whole point of going back to something in the past is to conjure up feelings of nostalgia and fondness for things that have passed. How can you feel anything for something that's a year or two old, especially when half the characters are still in the format in some form, two with their original cards? I feel it should have been Valhalla only, something made to quell those feelings of missing out on something, and somewhat nostalgia for those who did play it, as it did cease to be legal over 2 years ago. Well, 2 years probably isn't the longest time to establish nostalgic feelings. Let's try half a decade, guys. It's more reasonable than things that are just last year and are still playable. The blurb is interesting about choosing your dragon ruler, especially with Kronos here. Valhalla does have enough impressive dragons of each colour to make rulers. I guess because this is the case, we may end up factioning off everyone into colour-themed groups, not having some unifying theme mechanically, which could be good or bad. But I'd say it doesn't bode well for the rulers. Nevertheless, it's Vingolf. It's probably going to have 2 to 5 cards of actual value, with the remaining 70 odd being completely useless, especially now with the flooding of dual stones we have, and if they're reprinted again. They're going to be valueless and not desirable. This is more a statement of Vingolf's lack of quality through the 2 preceding releases, but I wish Force of Wilco would get it through their heads that beginner product doesn't mean majority garbage. Vingolf can be playable. It's not a crime against nature. There really should be when you're dealing with characters that people give 2 shits about. Have to wonder if the recent Faith Sing deck was a mistake, as the Lapis Cluster decks vary in quality so wildly, and they're beginner products too. So again, I think this is probably too soon. We haven't really seen anything. The Magic Stones are probably going to be the only things that are actually desirable if they've all got characters on them, which it seems to be. The red one is probably Sylvia. So yeah, I wouldn't get your hopes up too far. It is Vingolf, but hopefully they improve. We can only hope. But again, don't get too shocked when it's another pile of crap. This has been some Gamer Dude, and I'll see you guys next time.